Hi everybody, welcome to Paper Wishes Thursday vlog. I'm Lene Gehrig, and today I have some gorgeous deco foil metallics gels from our friends at ThermoWeb. These gels can go on your projects either thick or thin, and they leave a wonderful foiled look. So let me show you different colors. I have to let these go so they don't roll everywhere here. All right, so the first one, this is glazed pewter. And I put this on using one of the stencils that I'll show you later. And then pure gold, look at that, just delicious looking. And then aged copper. I love the aged copper, it's one of my faves. And then black ice, and I put this on white cardstock, so see that. And then champagne mist. And then white pearl. And I did this on black as well. All right, so let's look at a project here. So this card, on this card, I don't know if you can see it, I used a combination of gold, then copper, and then gold again. And I can show you how to do that. But I also used the two colors. So here's the copper and here's the gold. And I applied them in two different ways. The first one, I used a stencil. This is from hot off the press. It's called All Over Swirls Stencil. And then the next way, I used a cutting die. And this one is the Flower Edger by Creative Expressions. And what's great about this edger, here we go, is it has these little outer pieces. It's a 3-piece die, and I used it by using both of the outer dies to actually cut away a border. But if you wanted to use it by only putting one of the edges here, there we go, one of the edges on this side and leaving it free of an edge here, it would just make a really great edge on a card. So that was really great. So let me first show you how you apply this with a brush. And what I did is I went ahead and I die cut this from black cardstock, and as you can see, it's got, you can zoom in here, Houston, it's got these layers like that, and I just kind of pulled these apart, each one like this, and then I just slid some cardstock on one side of it, and this way it's to protect the background right here so I didn't get gold on that. And then I just took some of the gold. It's really wonderful, rich paste. And when it dries, it gives this really great metallic look. And then I just went ahead and I just brushed it on like this, using this cardstock to protect the background. And there's no need to mix any water with it. You just apply the paste with the brush. Go. Like that. And then once that side dried, I just went all the way across. Once that side dried, then I just took the cardstock and put it on the other side as well. All right, so let's get into how you apply it to a stencil. I'm gonna need my craft mat. I'm gonna take some white cardstock, some black cardstock rather. All right, one of the other great tools that I used with my stencils was the stick and spray. And this is repositional adhesive spray from Crafter's Companion. What I noticed is when I used this, it didn't have the smell of it, it just wasn't very strong. I was able to use this indoors without having to step outside and give it a spray. Pull like here, and I just use a little bit on the back side of my stencil. And there's no need for it to wait to dry. It just has sort of a little tacky feel to that. And then just to make sure that the entire thing is going to stay in place, I'm just going to use some repositional tape. Stencil tape, washi tape works great. Stick the whole thing down so that this isn't moving around on my craft mat. And then I like to smooth over the stencil to make sure that repositional adhesive is just really doing its job. All right, and then I just like to use a plastic spoon to remove this. Whoa, I took out way too much. And the first thing I'm going to do is just do gold there. And then we have this great new tool that you can get at Paper Wishes. It's called a stencil pal, and what I love about it, it's got this nice straight edge to it, and look how wide it is. You can just really, with like 2 swipes, you can cover a large area, which I think is great. So I'm just going to be doing that, and then you just go down like this. And I think what I'm going to do is, on this one, I'm going to do half gold and half, well, we could do silver, we could do copper. There we go. All right, and then I just like to scrape off whatever's left right back in the jar. We don't want to waste any of that. And then just take a wet wipe, clean that off so that we can use our next color. Oh, I forgot to bring another spoon, so of course I have to clean off my spoon. All right. Well, we already know what the copper looks like blended, so let's do the silver, rather the pewter. Okay, and this I'm just going to overlap on the gold a little bit. Go. And now I'm just blending into the gold. Go. And on this one, I don't want to have any gold back in my pewter jar, so I'm just going to take this and wipe that off. It has gold in it. Okay. All right, so then let's clean up the rest of this, because this can go back in our jar. Remove the tape. Okay. And then that's just going to come off like that. That repositional comes right off. Find a nice safe spot to put my stencil. Go. All right. So as you can see now, when this is wet, it definitely has a different look, and when it dries, put the gold here, we'll get that really beautiful metallic look. But as you can see right now, it's not dry. So this is how you would put it on with a very thick layer. Right? And then if you would like to put it on with a more thin layer, I have a different technique for you. All right, so here's a card where I used it on the background here, and I used the champagne mist color just over some white wood paper, and then a strip of hammered gold specialty paper. And that when I put the same stencil right over the top of it, I used one of these wonderful blending brushes. These are new at Paper Wishes. And instead of using the stencil pal, the scraper, I just used one of these brushes, and I just went right over the top of it like this, and it just put on a really light coat, which was great. And then as you can see, this frame here, I'll show you how I made this. First I used these Gemini dies, and these are, gosh, here we go, torn edge rectangles. And I used to use 2 different sizes to make a rectangle like this, okay? And then I used this 3D texture fades from Sizzix. It's a Tim Holtz 3D crackle embossing folder. It's got this really great thick crackle texture to it. This is what it looks like. Okay, that's that really nice 3D, lots and lots of texture. So what I did is I took this and I just put my frame right in here. And when I ran it through my machine, I used a Big Shot. Because this is so thick, I basically just took all the shims off the platform, and then I ran it through using only one of the clear plates. So just ran that over the top of it in order to get through that. And if you're using one of the Gemini machines, just basically don't use maybe just the two thinnest plates to put it through. It is quite thick, and that's how you get that 3D embossed look. So that's how we did that. And I'm going to show you, you can apply this. Oops. I used pewter again. And to apply this, I just took, a baby wipe, a wet wipe. Got some more here. Oops. And I just applied that lightly using my fingertip and a wet wipe. And you still get that sort of brushed on metallic look. And it's always easier to add more. Once you got it on there, you can't take it off. So I like to just go on lightly once, and then I can just go back over it if I want a different intensity. All right, there you go. Really great crackly frame. And then for all my little flowers, there we go. For my flowers, I used another cutting die, and this is Card Making Magic, and this is the Daisy Flourish, also available at Paper Wishes. And for this, I just used from Craft Cardstock this flourish right here, and then individually cut the flowers. Some are from Craft Cardstock with gold and pewter, and then this one here I just used black cardstock and also did the pewter on the black as well. And show you some of these. Here we go. So I just started out some black cardstock, and that's how it looked once I have the pewter. And then just the craft cardstock, I added some gold. And then for these little berry twigs, once again, I just used a little bit of gold with a paintbrush, and I just added it on each of the little berries. Give a little metallic element to that, okay? There you go. It was a really fun card to put together with lots of different textures, just using the same mediums really. So I would really encourage you to check out the Money Saver that we have on all 6 of these Deco Foil Metallics gels. They're really versatile. As I said, you can use them thick or thin. They're a great alternative to heat foiling. And check out the Money Saver that we have below. And if you're watching this on YouTube, check out the Money Savers that are in the description below as well. Thanks for joining me today, and I'll see you next week. Hi everybody, I'm back. Just in at Paper Wishes are a whole new set of stencils from our friends at Stamperia. These are from Hungary, and they're these amazing stencils. They would look fantastic with the Deco Foil Metallics gel. This one, quite large, might be used for home decor up on a wall or something, but how great to just use a portion of it on a card. This one, I think is our favorite. This one is called, oh gosh, I don't even know the name of this one. But just, in our search, just go ahead and put Stamperia and you'll get these stencils. This one is amazing. It's got this wonderful collage look, and it has all kinds of different patterns on it. And another wonderful floral. These are really limited quantity. Paulette said she didn't order very many of them, so we wanted to show these to you right away so you could check them out before they are gone.